Hey friends, Squarespace just released a new feature on their platform, Squarespace Courses. Now, before they used to have this like membership feature capability, and you could put videos in there, but there was no way for you to be able to track or the user to be able to track their progress through the content and things like that. There were also other limitations that came up as well, which if you don't know them, we don't need to explain them. But they have made a lot of updates with this new release of Squarespace Courses that allows you to be able to add courses to your Squarespace site directly. And honestly, in my opinion, this is a game changer. So let's dive into it for the first time and get the full experience. So here's what the pricing breakdown looks like. The biggest thing that I do not like about this is this whole transaction fee. You have to pay $120 a month to get to a 0% transaction fee, which is so steep. Let me take a look at Podia. And this is what I've been using over the last few years. At $33 a month, you already get to no transaction fees, because on top of this, you still have to pay like a Stripe transaction fee. So it's a pretty steep fee to consider, but right here, $33 a month, you get no transaction fees. But let's go back here and take a look at what else they offer. What does this include? So for the smallest package, it includes unlimited courses and memberships, unlimited customers, students, and members, free one-time or subscription pricing options, and analytics. The big limitation is gonna come out to these two items up here, the 10 hours of video storage or the 50 hours of video storage. This is really what you're gonna see the biggest difference in. So for most courses, you're looking at anywhere between 2 to maybe 6 hours of content for one course. So here you could probably have 2 courses up and running live, again, up to 10 hours, whatever that looks like for you, that keep you at this $9 a month range. But that 7% transaction fee is still pretty steep. So if you go down to the 3%, $34 a month, it's a much better value overall if this falls into your category or you are processing a lot of money. Other features offer discounts and promotions, customer management, no Squarespace branding, enroll students in cohorts, that's pretty cool. Create lessons and chapters, customers can pay with PayPal or credit card. So that's their sales page. Now let's take a look at actually using this and how we can build this out. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go to website, and then in here, I'm just gonna go to the not linked section and hit the plus sign. You could do this anywhere, but the first thing I'm gonna do is hit course. So in here, I can start creating a course. They have these 2 different looks. It really doesn't matter to begin, but we just click on that, and I'm gonna call this my SEO course, hit enter, and we're gonna start building. So the course overview page is the page they're gonna see. If I'm understanding this right, it's the page they're gonna see once they've purchased the course. So this is kind of like, okay, you've purchased the course, great. You go in and it's like, oh, let's go to the SEO course, and they click on it. This is what they're gonna see. So I'm gonna click into the editor, and you can come in here and start to design everything you like. So I'm gonna do SEO course. So most likely this content's hidden, right? This is only being seen by people who have access to the content. All right, cool. So we have something like this. I'm gonna go that. Then we get into the course content. Here is like a summary. All right, start course. That button looks like it's default. This looks default. This looks default. But what you do have some control over is, let's take a look. Manage lessons. That'll take us to that other part of the menu, but let's hit edit layout. All right, beautiful. So we have a few options here. So you can't really edit this content here on the page. You could put some stuff above it, and then you could also add a section. So if you do need to say other things, you could add a section above it, and then you could also add sections below it. So you have full control to do this. But this section here gets edited and designed in here. So do you want to include the course title, course description, course button? These items here, as you just select, give you a full clarity on what you can do. From there, you can have lesson thumbnails included. So there's little images alongside that, and then lesson excerpts. which you see here, right here. If I go to design, you start to get into the actual look and feel of all the content and the layout. So this is the course header, course button, which style do you want to use, course outline, do you want it small, medium, or large? I'm gonna do it there, and then course content spacing. Let's see. It's the spacing right here between the different chapters, so I'll streamline that a bit. Section dividers at the bottom. So there's not a ton of controls here. You could change the spacing a bit. You get into the details of the spacing here. That's pretty normal with Squarespace, but you can't really change the specifics in here of like, this image is really small, and I'm not seeing a way to be able to adjust that overall with this styling as of right now. This may change in the future, but for right now, it looks like this is the only styling we have. We may be able to go into site styles, and then let's go to fonts, and let's see if there's specific styling for this. Yeah, there is. So chapter name. So here it's a heading, but I actually want to change it to be just bolder. So yeah, like that already looks better. What is this? Lesson name. So you do have specific control on these if you do want to adjust it. The 1.25 is good. I'm just gonna go to 1.3 and we should be good there. Then I'm gonna go back and then take a look here, and just clicking on these gives you control of the specifics. So here, this is the miscellaneous font at 0.75. Cool, looks great. Again, with this, I will go custom. Cool, but that looks great. So there's a lot of control in here, a lot of things you could adjust overall with the content and the feel of the design. So now we've done that. That's the course overview page. Let's get into the actual course content and how we structure that. The one thing I don't like about this is that they initiate you with like all this demo content. So you got to kind of go back and like get rid of it. So I'd have to go in here and then like delete all these lessons, but we're just going to start with what we got. All right. So if I want to add content to the course, the first thing I could do is click this plus sign here or click add lesson here. So this would add it directly to chapter 1, or this would just add it to the very bottom. So I'm just going to click here, and it gives you the option for a chapter or lesson. Let's just start with a chapter, see its options, and go from there. So this would be chapter 5, I believe, and then we'll hit save. All right, cool, it added it in. If you need to drag it to reorganize it, you could easily do that. Then from there, I'm gonna click add a new lesson, and then we'll get into the details. This is great because it feels much like Squarespace. So we're gonna talk about optimizing your Google profile here, learn how to blah, blah, blah. The URL we could customize or adjust. I'm gonna leave it as is. It's already pulled that from the title. So that's great. We could add in a thumbnail, which is awesome. But then we get into the video, and here you can add content. Now, this is an important part that you were probably waiting for. If you click the plus sign, it gives you all the options. Because it's Squarespace, they're gonna default to the upload file feature. But if the 10 hours is gonna be a limitation for you, a workaround is to upload your content to YouTube or Vimeo. And then once you upload it there, you could just add the link here. Now, there's gonna be YouTube and Vimeo branding and things you gotta deal with that, but this could be a workaround where you upload it to YouTube or Vimeo, you set it as unlisted, you grab the link, you paste the link in here, add link for video, boom, you drop it in here. So you could paste the link in here, it'll fetch the video, you'll hit add, and then now you'll have that video in there. When you're ready to go live, you just hit publish, and then you hit save and you're good to go. Now it's gone live, but it's not sorted in any of these lessons. So we're gonna take this and drag it and drop it into lesson 5. As I don't have a thumbnail image, you see no image here, and that's where this image goes, or that's what that image is right there. So we're gonna now take a look at this actual user experience, and I'm gonna go back and show you from the beginning, from the course overview page, what the user experience is like. And so we're in here. I don't know why this is pushed off to the side. It just happens to be, we fix that. But for now, I'm gonna hit start course. So boom, just like that, it takes me into the first video and the first lesson. Now there's this tab right here that opens up the chapters. And then this is the progress bar that shows them where they are in the course. Now, what's cool about every single page on your site, every single part of your course, is that you could add content, you could add resources, you could add PDFs, you could add a button to a page, you could add a button to a Notion page, you could add so many different things to your website and really figure out the course structure that you want. Hit play, content will play. Beautiful, really easy to work with and manage. And when a user is done with this part of the course, they can hit complete and continue, which now starts to mark the project complete. So you'll see here, they've gone from 0 to 17% complete because they finished the first lesson. This is so helpful and user friendly. I'm imagining it's picked these colors from my brand palette on the site. And this is how it's come to these sections. You could easily skip around, moving through the content as you like. And then if I go back here, I think the way the cohort works is if I go to course content, and let's go to the lesson that I just published, or what is it here? Edit chapter, no, I'll leave that. Let's go into this one here. I'll hit edit lesson. And then from here, we can go to status, and you could have a schedule date. So you could have it set and scheduled so that if you are running a cohort or new content once a week or whatever it is, you could set it for every Monday to get published. And so you could easily build this whole thing out, have it all ready to go before you even launch the course and get started. Now, we've talked about two of the key aspects of the course, which is the overview page and the course content. But now we need some plans to monetize this. So I know if I click on this, it's gonna take me to create pricing plan, which is another page here on the site. All right, so let's create pricing plan. So here are the details, the detailed description of the course, what's included, some major highlights. I love that they did this, that they added these for your time. Awesome, yeah, these benefits. All right, so there's a few things here, and then there's a few things to consider as we're doing this. First and foremost, there's this fixed amount, which gives you the option for one payment up to 12 with a dollar amount here. You could add other payment options. You have a lot of control there. You could go to subscriptions, set up pricing for a subscription, more like a membership type of thing. And then it could just be free. It could be a free course overall. Then there's this included products, which includes the SEO course, but you could potentially include other things as well, which we'll get into in a moment. Now we have sign up limits, if there's any kind of limits, enrollment dates, when you want to start enrollment and when you want to end enrollment. Again, really powerful and really, really cool to have these features built in from the get-go. So I'm just gonna hit create for free and for this free kind of paywall and go from there. So you can see here with the pricing plans, I now have this paywall set up for this to be free. So in here, you see we have a few different features, right? We have these pricing plans. I've added in two other ones just to take a look at it and our charging amounts and all of that. But you could add a digital product to sales page to sell your content. So you click add block, click on digital product. Then from there, you could add in your specific digital products that you want to sell on your site. So let's go do that right now to get a feel for this and go from there. So let's just say we were adding the digital product to this page here. All right, so let's just move this down and then I'm just gonna click here and then digital product, perfect, cool. So that's just a sample, but we'll click into this, choose pricing plan, and we have this SEO course number 2, perfect, add that in. Then it gives us options on how we wanna add in the content. Like this is beautiful, like we could create a really nice pricing plan really easily. I'll keep it like this, title, price, benefits, button, very cool, sign up, get started. All right, awesome, beautiful. So let me add one more, that there, by the way, and then go in here, and then I could choose, I don't know, anything I'm offering as an additional option as well. But these are ways that you could easily add in these products to these pages and sections. Maybe there's other ways to build it, but that's just me playing with this for the first time. So they now have this courses feature, and I think in the future, they're gonna build something with member sites and courses to work together really fluidly. But as of right now, This is amazing, and there's a lot of benefits that you can get from this by being able to launch a course on Squarespace.